I'm Samantha Chian, your host with Spirit of Nevada. This episode is brought to you by the Richard Harris Law Firm, helping families and injured victims throughout Nevada for over 40 years. Hope you enjoy the show. Beyond the big city lights of Las Vegas lies some of the most spectacular views. And all you have to do is look up. There is something special about a sky full of beautiful stars. A starry night can inspire us to dream and to hope for brighter days ahead. Which reminds me of the quote from author Les Brown: "Shoot for the moon, even if you'll miss, you'll land among the stars." The road may be dark, but there is light ahead as we pull up to the park to meet Russ, who believes stargazing is more for the poet than the scientist. I know you can't see my face, but I'm smiling because I'm so excited to be here stargazing for the first time in Tonopah. Now, if people come here, what can they expect to see?
Well, during the winter time, we have Jupiter and Saturn, which are beginning to set in the western sky. We have the Pleiades star cluster, which is going to be near the east, and Orion, which is the showpiece constellation of the northern hemisphere, is now rising over our eastern horizon. And in Orion is one of the celestial jewels, which is known as the Great Nebula in the Sword of Orion. A nebula basically is a cloud of gas and dust in space. But in this case, it's backlit by stars, and it is an extremely beautiful thing to look at.
I didn't know that stars were different colors.
Oh, yes.
There's an orange one. What other color stars
You
are
have
there?
blue-white stars. Those are pretty much the colors. It's how hot the star is. And they use basically the color to determine the temperature.
And now, is this park open to anybody?
It is indeed. It is free to the public. The town sponsors monthly star parties, basically from May, June, all the way into sometimes September and October. Those are sponsored by the town, but anybody can come out here. It's free, and just make sure there are no bathrooms.
Yeah, so make sure you use the restroom down
exactly.
at the gas station.
So if you do come out here, say in the summertime, and you're planning a vacation trip, make sure you bring your lawn chair and a set of binoculars, and that's really enough to get you into some really fun astronomy.
It's beautiful out here.
And the things you want to look at is check and see where the moon is. Is it going to come up? Because when the moon comes up, it's extremely bright here. Now that can be good and bad. If you're into gazing about the moon, then you're going to get some fantastic views. You can do some fantastic night photography, depending on what phase the moon is in. But if you wanted to look for stars and constellations, you want a night like we have here, where there is no moon.
Is this the best time of year typically to come to stargaze?
It depends what you're gazing at.
Okay.
If for Orion, yes, which is over here, and you can see it coming up. And we're going to train the telescope on it in a little bit. But if you wanted to do Sagittarius or Scorpio, you would pick a summer month.
Good to know. I didn't know all this until today.
Okay.
So what got you into stargazing? Obviously you have lots of passion, you're very knowledgeable. What inspired you?
It was just something I always wanted to do, and I never got around to it. I was a former naval officer. We went through celestial navigation, the theory of it. I always liked going to planetariums, but I just never got around to it, and I came here. and there was an opportunity to help out with a research program and also with
So
the
you
Star
came here
Party.
for the research program?
No, it just
all
I just came here to
played
go
into-
somewhere different.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things to do, especially if you're coming here for the weekend, not just stargazing. There's
Yeah.
the mining park, and what other things are there?
Well, there's local history here. There's the Central Nevada Museum. They are open on Saturdays. I believe they're closed on Sundays. But that gets into non-mining issues. Tonopah, people don't realize that the Army Air Force was out here in World War II. And
Is that why there's a mural when you first come into town?
that's one of the things that the F-117, they did some work out there to get the test site. But the Central Nevada Museum goes into that period of Tonopah's history when the Army Air Force was here. And just as a note, Chuck Yeager, I think he passed away yesterday, he trained out here during World War II. So,
Sorry for the loss of the town and the family.
yeah.
I
and,
bet he had some good stories to tell.
What I understand, he had a real good story, and I don't know if he was responsible for what happened or not, but he did actually visit here about 2 years ago. He came to town.
Besides stargazing, there is a world of mining to be explored here in the town of Tonopah. So we drive straight to the Tonopah Historic Mining Park to learn more about the mining history in this town.
We are here at the Tonopah Historic Mining Park, and it's really good to be back. We visited a few years ago. Back when I first started Spirit of Nevada, I didn't really know what I was doing. I was still learning the ropes on how to host a show. So I'm really glad that I'm working with the town, and they gave me a long list of items that I gotta mark off on my checklist, this being one of them. And they've arranged for me to meet Jeff, who's the guy that knows so much about this park. So I'm excited. We're gonna share some fun facts with you along the way. So let's go on inside. Jeff,
Samantha,
good to see you.
you too. Welcome back to the Tonopah Historic Mining Park.
Thank you. I'm excited to be back here.
Glad to have you.
Thank you. It's been a few years, and back when we first started doing it, we just kind of walked around and got some shots. But this time around, I'm hoping that we can get a little bit more information. I know you're the guy that the town told me that knows so much about this place.
Well, thank you. Yeah, so normally we would do a guided Polaris tour where we would get on the side-by-side and we would ride around and we would do the entire property. But due to COVID, Polaris tours are unavailable at this time. So we're just going to do a little bit of walking around, specifically in the Butler Discovery area, so we can kind of get an idea how the first guys in, what they saw, what they did.
Okay, so you're going to take me back. We're going to travel back in
Yeah, we're going to go
time.
back in time a little bit. And we're going to look at rock that has silver in it, so you can kind of get an idea what they saw and what they did when they found it. And then we'll progress through the years from the discovery.
So early 1900s,
Yes,
right? Is that where we're starting?
Mid 1900.
Okay.
To when the big money came in, and we'll see some of that too.
That's
So,
exciting. All right, so I can't wait to head to our first stop. Jeff, you ready?
I'm ready. You ready?
Yep.
Let's go.
Absolutely. Can I sit right here?
Yes, please.
All right. Now, when it's not COVID time and people want to do these tours, do they have to book ahead?
We like them to book ahead, but we now are staffing with 2 people here always. So we'll make it available for anybody who just walks in and wants to do a Polaris tour. So
Okay, perfect. So you guys accept walk-ins, basically.
we do accept walk-ins, but we prefer schedule.
Got it.
So we're gonna get out and we're gonna start right here.
Okay, let's begin. We're at our first stop right now. All right, where are we?
Okay, so we're standing in front of several veins of silver that are still on the property. Kind of give you an idea what Jim Butler first saw when he was coming through here. So in May of 1900, he was on his way to a place called South Klondike, which was about 10 miles south of Tonopah.
Okay.
He stopped and he stayed the night at the springs, which were close by. During the night, his burros wandered off, and in the morning, he got up and he must have tracked them right into this area where we're at, where they say he picked up a rock to throw at one of the burros, and he found that the rock was unusually heavy. Now, a lot of people don't believe that story, but I tend to think that there's a lot of truth to it, because running through this whole downslope of this mountain, through this whole area here, 8 to 10 very large outcropping quartz veins. He discovered it in May of 1900, and it wasn't until almost August that Jim and his wife Belle, their new partner Tascarati, and another man by the name of Wills Brower came out to stake out their claims on the side of the mountain here. While they were out here staking out their claims, Jim had his wife Belle stake out her own. She staked out and named what she called the Mizpah. And the Mizpah turned out to be the richest and most productive vein in the whole area here. We're gonna walk right.
I just learned something new.
There you go.
The richest and most
right, and
productive mine.
Yes, and you know, Mizpah comes from the Old Testament. It's out of the book of Genesis. You know, and it's just basically Jacob taking stones, making a heap, and within the heap, he's honoring his friendship, his loyalty, his love.
The bonding.
Yes. Yeah. So.
Well, let's keep walking.
Yes, we're gonna walk down
I know
here.
There's more to see.
So in 2004, the mining park decided they wanted to give our visitors a safe underground experience. So with the original tunnel that was here, they extended it out with some of this timbering that you see. As we get farther down into the tunnel, the last 40 feet of it or so, you're gonna see open face rock, and that's what it's like below ground. So
we're gonna get a below ground experience.
Yes. You'll see some of the original timbering, or what they call stalls.
Stalls.
You can see how they were just notched in on one side, blocked and shimmed on the other. And these are the original timbers. These date back to 1900, early 1901.
It's pretty remarkable that you have this all here so that people can experience what life was like during the 1900s.
Well, that's kind of our motto, is where mining history comes alive, so.
It really does here. Thank you so much for taking the time to walk through all these places. I'm just in awe of all the things that you guys have put together so that other people can learn about mining.
Well, you know, we're pretty fortunate. Everything that you see here was pretty much left behind, so that makes it easy for us. But we love being able to share this with the public, especially people who live in Nevada. You know, our whole goal here is for when people leave here, for them to say, God, who the hell knew? You know what I mean? Because this is amazing that all this stuff was left behind. So, you know, it's amazing that we were able to stand on the bridge and look down into that original mine.
That was a cool experience.
Right. Going into the tunnel and being inside the vein was pretty amazing. And so now we're going to head up to the Mizpah Hoist House, and we're going to see when the big money came in. So at the end of 1901, Jim sold his 8 original claims to an Eastern industrialist. And in 1902, the Tonopah Mining Company was formed, and that's when they started developing these big hoist works throughout the whole area here.
Look at you! Oh my gosh! This is so fun! Whoa. Okay. We made it up the mountain. Okay, stay there. Wow. How tall is this?
So this is about 75 feet. When everybody looks at this, they look at it and they see something that they think is more modern. But what they don't realize is this is one of the first steel head frames in the West. And this was actually built in late 1902, early 1903.
It does look modern though. That
It
is
does
really
look a lot
strange,
more,
right?
compared to the wood ones.
Exactly.
But in 2014, we were concerned about the integrity of the collar of the mine. That's the opening here.
So the collar, when you say collar, can you point that out to me?
Yeah, so this opening
Okay.
is the collar. So everything around the big hole here.
Right here.
Yeah,
This is the collar.
When the collar of the mine, and if you look down, you'll see the collar,
I see it.
the opening here. So when the collar of a mine starts to go, it starts to open up and everything around is going to start to fall in.
Yeah. I wanna see. Oh, that's a great shot. I'll get a shot of the shot. Oh my goodness. That's amazing. How cool. I know. It almost would be cool if you could take a picture of it too. Okay.
Yeah,
Awesome.
so like I was saying, this is a 3-compartment shaft. 1 and 2
Okay.
were haul shafts, the main haul shaft. So if you look up above us, you'll see the elevators. The elevators ran up and down in the holes here, and they ran on these wooden guide rails.
It's remarkable how you know so much about mining.
I hope you all learned something new. As always, we enjoy coming to these small towns. Locals are always really friendly every time we come to visit. Now it's time to head to our next adventure. Till next week, I'm Samantha Chion, but you can call me Sam with Spirit of Nevada, brought to you by the Richard Harris Law Firm.